This is the Following the Joy podcast, a place to hear people's stories about following their dreams, taking courageous action, being authentically themselves, and the lessons and adventures on the way. I'm your host, Debbie Westwell, and this is Following the Joy. Hello. Today, I want to talk to you about masculine versus feminine energy. It's been coming up a lot for me at the moment in conversations with people. And so I kind of just wanted to talk to you about it, to explain a little bit about it, and to kind of give you my personal perspective on it. So, like everything in life, there's opposites and you can't have one without the other. So you can't have day without night, like positivity, negativity, again, femininity, masculinity, yin, yang. And, you know, it's a natural universal law that we have the polarity of opposites and you can't experience one without the other, but we need to find a balance with them. And I mean, when we talk about masculinity and femininity, we kind of automatically send our thoughts directly to the human body and whether we are born with male genitals or female genitals and whether therefore we are male or female. But that's not what I'm talking about here. That's what I'm talking about is kind of like finding within yourself a balance of both. I genuinely believe that like people who are predominantly male, you know, can balance out with some femininity and some feminine qualities. And similarly, people who are predominantly feminine can balance out with some masculinity. But I think there's been a lot of kind of toxicity in the way we've been raised or the way we are being brought up. And I know that is changing. And I think that is amazing. And I think more needs to be done about it. But it's more of an education piece. So historically, you know, men were the power, the providers, the strength. Like these are kind of the words that we would associate with, you know, like that male energy. And it wasn't seen for a man to be what we associate with the female energy, which is, or the feminine energy, which is, you know, the kind of the nurturing, the caring, the emotional kind of receptive side of things. And similarly, you know, females were told, you know, don't be too dominant, don't be too adventurous or rough or boisterous. You know, these are all words that we kind of link to one or the other. I mean, even if we look at a lot of the Latin languages have le or la, like French has le or la as a description, so masculine or feminine. A table is masculine or feminine. A car is masculine or feminine, and the same in Spanish, it's el or la. And so it's just in the system that we live in and that we're brought up in. But what we can do, so typically I'm going to kind of go through some different kind of traits for each, but look at how we can balance out, and especially how this affects us and me in my private life. So kind of the energies of the feminine energy is like I said before, empathy, nurturing, fluidity, softness, receptivity, being open, being devoted, supporting people, having feelings, having intuition, like creativity, understanding, and, you know, kind of space holders are very, very, like, it's a very feminine energy to hold the space for somebody else, seeing the bigger picture, creating the communities, working with people really well, like being empathetic. That's very, very feminine energies. And then the masculine energies are more like action, leadership, loyalty, adventure, survival, firmness, strictness, confidence, focus, power, efficiency, pride. And those ones kind of help you get what you want. You know, you pursue things, you complete things, you know, kind of set boundaries, you accomplish goals. You can, you know, relying on your achievements. So it's kind of like a very masculine energy. However, we should be kind of blending the two together. And in my personal, life, I have seen when one is outbalancing the other. So when I was working in the corporate world, I would, have these lists, these to-do lists of things that I needed to get through, do this, make this, focus on this, write to this person, send this email, contact this person, have this meeting. Very, very like kind of masculine energy. And I would get overwhelmed with it, and I would get like burnt out with it, and feeling like I can't cope with all of this. I can't get through this list. It's an impossible task for me to do. And then consequently that affected my mental health, and I was like losing my own self-confidence, my self-belief, thinking I can't physically do this, when in actual fact what I needed to do was balance it out with those feminine energy types that I needed to bring into my life. So yes, I had this list of things that I needed to do, but what I've learned is I also needed to, go for a walk in nature, spend some time talking to somebody at work, sitting down, asking them about how they are, how their weekend's been, or something like that. That those water cooler moments, I needed to have more of those. I needed to be more nurturing. I needed to kind of support somebody else and help somebody else. Or in my private life, like I said, like take myself off for a bath, relax, read a book, kind of draw, color in, creativity. And then once you kind of get a little bit of both in your life, you kind of find that stable, beautiful, stable point where it's just in a nice balance, very much like the yin, the yang. When you've got them balanced, it's an absolutely wonderful feeling, and you feel like you can absolutely take on the world and take on anything. So I think what I would like you to do is just think about maybe the last week, the last month. Have you been feeling a certain type of way? If you reflect back, are you doing more of one than the other? I mean, the same thing goes if I have too much of the feminine energy and I'm doing too much, like going out in nature and relaxing and doing this, I don't actually get anything done. And so then I need to bring in, those to-do lists, that power, that, that pride, that accomplishment, that courageousness. So yeah, reflect back and just have a look and see, have you got a nice balance between the two? Is there anything missing in your life that, you think you could balance out with one or the other? If it's something that you're super interested in, maybe just go away and do a little bit more research. If you want to reach out and talk to me about it, absolutely. This is one of the things that I kind of help people with and can coach people on as well. But just have a little review of your life and just see where you can almost bring that balance, because sometimes it's a balance that you don't even know is out of whack, and you don't know what you don't know. So, if you've never perceived it as masculine and feminine energy, and we just balance it out regardless of the sex you were born, regardless of the sex you are now. It's not to do with your sexuality, it's to do with the kind of the chi and the energy flowing through your life source. So if you can balance yourself out and then give it a week or so and see if you start to feel better, document down your emotions of how you were feeling, what you've now reflected on and what you've learned, and then again document your emotions to how things have changed, and hopefully you'll feel that beautiful sense of peace and balance. And I would love to hear from you if this is like kind of resonated with you. I would love to hear if you've managed to make a change in your life and you now are feeling that balance. And I'm just sending you lots and lots of love and peace and happiness.
Thanks for listening today. I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. And as always, any links or anything mentioned will be in the show notes. If you haven't connected with me yet, I'd love to meet you. So come find me on Instagram at Debbie Westwell. Why not slide into my DMs and tell me what you thought of this episode? And if you like what you hear, then please follow me or hit the bell icon, share with somebody like you who would benefit from listening, and all positive reviews are greatly appreciated. Thank you for being your wonderful self, and I can't wait to chat next time.